Richie and Reedy, a little bit of R&R.
Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Richie and Reedy, a little bit of R&R podcast. I'm Richie.
And I'm Reedy. Thank you as always for listening to us. You can say hi and get involved with the podcast by searching at Richie and Reedy on social media. You can email us too, hello@richieandreedy.com. Now, before we begin this week, we have a quick announcement. From this episode onwards, we are slimming down and releasing one episode per month because of other commitments we now have. So, going forward, it will be the same Richie and Reedy podcast packed into a monthly bumper episode. Right, let's begin with this episode's big little news of the week. And mine, it just has to be dominated by one word: mice. Oh yes. Well, we had a few in the shed that went to the woods, as we know.
Right.
I wasn't expecting the few in the loft.
Loft. Wow.
So I'm in bed and I get woken up by this kind of scratching noise. I'll be honest, I thought it was my neighbour because he's an idiot, really. And he makes noise when most people would...
Say it like it is.
well, I will. Just to paint a picture, he's the type of character that most people, when they live next to each other, would think about turning their TV volume down about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. He turns it up and plays his music when he like to at night time, when most people would be looking to go to sleep, or it's a given that that's the time of the day where most people appreciate other people's quietness, okay? But he's not that sort of neighbour. So I thought it was him making a scratching noise on my wall. So I woke up with a bit of a start and made this massive thump, boom, on the wall. And then the scratching noise stopped. I thought, this man said, what? Why? What's he doing? So anyway, the next night, I woke up and it must have been about 1:30 in the morning, and I heard it again. I said, seriously, this is... And I was like, hang on. I stood on my bed and it was coming from my ceiling, not the wall.
Right.
I was like,
right.
Oh,
okay.
Sounds like I've got some visitors in my loft. So that day... This has all happened in the last few days. That day I went in the loft with said trap that I've been using for the garden, two of them, and pulled back some of the insulation, which I've only had my loft done, by the way, about a month ago, insulated.
Okay.
So maybe something's been disturbed. So I set the traps, and then, of course, mice come out at night. So you're in bed, and then you hear this clonk, bang. And of course, it's the trap door shut. And then you're left with the situation of this extra loud noise now of a mouse trying to get out of a cage, rattling on the floorboards above your head at now 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got up. I could only do one thing. I had to go in the loft, get the cage. I already had because I've been to the woods with the mice. I already had a shoebox to put it in with the lid off, so it fits exactly neatly inside this shoebox, so it can't ever get out. And then wrap that in a blanket, put it in the shed. Good night. You stay there. I'll go to bed.
Right.
6:17 this morning. Rattle, rattle, rattle. The other one's in a trap. So I go up to the loft at 6:30 this morning, get the other one, put it in the shed with its mate, and say, I will see you two later. We're off to the woods. Right? So then I take my son to school and I tell him, I've caught these two mice. So then when I got back from the school run, I went to the woods at quite a quiet time, 10:30 morning. I'm progressing with my late night visits. And set them off in the same place. And now I've reset the traps in the loft because there could be more. But I'm puzzled. I get it if they're getting into downstairs behind cupboards. Ooh, how does a mouse get in your loft? How is that? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Well, is it feasibly possible that they could get in under the pitch of the roof. And in my house, for example, in the loft, where the roof comes down, and obviously it overhangs, obviously, but there is a slight gap.
I know what you mean. Yes,
to allow, I presume, air to get in, and I would imagine that they would be able to probably scrabble up a wall, and sneak in there.
But how do you? So mice can climb walls, can they?
I presume they can get up a brick wall. I'm only surmising, but once there, of course, your insulation is going to be very welcoming, I would imagine, for them. So
when you listen back to the podcast, you'll hear my joke on that word surmising, which you didn't hear. So that's my situation. So I'm hoping tonight that there isn't another rattle up in the loft, which indicates, because you can't sleep with that. It's bad enough when you hear them scurrying around. Thought.
You said the rattle is because the trap is on the floorboards. Is it feasible if you were to put a blanket or something down on the floorboards and then the trap, and then that would muffle the noise of any mouse trying to escape the trap and might give you a better night's sleep?
Well, he might think he's been upgraded.
Well, absolutely. But it's all part of the plan to give you a better night's sleep, perhaps. Yeah. I don't know.
I reckon, I agree that would eliminate the noise of the rattle on the... It's essentially plasterboard above your head, isn't it, really? And that metal banging against that is certainly not fun.
That's not nice. No,
you don't. You can't miss it. You can't miss that noise. So I might give that a go. I'll see how it goes now, because it's all set up. I don't want to move it because I'll probably set the trap off, and then I have to reset it all up. But I'll see how it goes. It's not a bad idea, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know next episode how I got on. I'm just hoping it's not going to go on. I'm hoping that these are ones kind of already in the loft, rather than those that are coming to visit because there is now food, because then it will just be endless. It's just go up there, go up to floor 3, get your food, and they're giving away a free buffet up there. Some of you may not come back though. Russian roulette
you might
buffet.
Be forcibly rehomed.
Anyway, that's really what I've been up to. And by the way, I have to congratulate myself for humanely catching these mice and getting rid of them.
Well, yes. We've talked about my efforts to do the same, but sadly they don't seem to last the night when they're caught in my similar trap.
Bit weird, though.
I also found one. We have in our garage. We tend to like certain household items that go beyond their useful life get given a new lease of life, and we had a swing bin in our kitchen, and we decided to replace it. So instead of throwing out the old one, we said, well, actually we need somewhere to put our compost. So all of our dry compost we put in this bin, because it's quite handy you can just lift it out so you can keep it dry in the garage. You can lift it out and you can literally just dig it out with a trowel and put it where you need it. So works really well. Found a dead mouse in there. And I'm thinking, well, is it possible he's gone in thinking, oh, that looks nice, and then realised actually there's no food here, there's nothing really here, but he couldn't get back up the sides of the bin because it's obviously a plastic smooth surface, and he just couldn't get up, and poor little chap just keeled over, and my wife said to me, is that a mouse in there? And I said, oh yes, so it is. But he didn't get a burial, suffice to say. He got put in a bin. The real bin.
You've basically mice just die in your company.
Yeah, it's a worrying trait, isn't it?
Mine just look like rabbits in headlights, because they see me like, what is this?
Yeah. Oh dear.
What are you going to do with us?
That's the thing. I think if you continue on this line of capture and rehouse. I think sooner or later the message will get out there that if you come here, you might get a bed for the night, but actually, long and short of it is you will be caught and you will be rehoused to a woods where there are no nice soft insulation.
No, absolutely not.
And actually,
as I've been rehearsing what I would say if any passerby is kind of asked why I'm carrying a box and a box on top of the box with a blanket wrapped around all of them, and you have a bit of time to kind of rehearse what you would say to make it convincing. And my overwhelming answer that I decided to go with was, I'm putting some rescue animals back out.
Which I suppose they are, aren't they?
Exactly. Oh, can we watch?
Yeah.
Probably not today.
Yes.
Not today. Yeah. I'll be back though. It was either that or none of your business. And I thought, no, it's a bit abrupt. So they're going to be suspicious then. And, try not to look suspicious when you're walking back afterwards either. There was a lady dog walker and it was perfectly normal for me to be carrying 2 boxes and a blanket out of the woods, which I just emerged from.
Well, what's the point of the blanket?
The blanket keeps them from getting too distressed. So if you put a blanket over them and darken it, and they will not bounce around and wonder what's going on. So they will just calm.
Is it not dark enough in the shoebox?
No, the shoebox doesn't have a lid. So I took the lid off, and the cage height is too big for the height of the shoebox. But it fits the cage in snugly. So if any reason that door was to get loose, it couldn't get out anyway. That's the point. And it's also, as you made me very aware, when you catch a mouse, it does like to do some business. And so therefore there's now a bottom for it to put things out of its bottom in the shoebox. Are you with me? You end up emptying in the woods. It looks like you just had some Cocoa Pops left over and you just tip those out. In the woods. Anyway, enough about me and my mice. How are you? What's been going on? What's happening in your world?
The big question that I've been asking myself and anybody who cares to listen this last week or so is what on earth is happening with the weather? Because we're told it's the frostiest April for 60 years, and we've had these morning frosts, which is actually quite funny in April because I get up usually, I don't know, about 6:45, and I look out the window and there's frost on the car. But if you go out to the car by 8:15, the frost has gone because the sun is so high in the sky at that time of the morning and there's enough warmth in it that it melts it. So actually, it's not really a problem. And I've been going out sometimes for a walk about 7 o'clock in the morning and it's still crisp, but the sun's coming up and it's actually a lovely time of day to be out, but it's been cold. But we've also told we've had the driest April, and yet until this week where we've had some rain, but we've had a really dry April. We had the second warmest day ever in March, 24 point something degrees. So we had a really warm day at the end of March, and then we're having these freezing cold mornings now. And to give you an idea, on the weekend, we decided to go for a bike ride because it was quite nice. So we got the bikes out. I've got my shorts out because I prefer to wear shorts if I'm cycling. Fine, no problem. Lovely day, lovely cycle ride, really nice day to be outside enjoying it. You think, this is beautiful spring day, lovely. And then yesterday, my son had a midweek football match. And we'd had rain during the day and rain was forecast. I thought, oh gosh, I've put my winter coat away. I've washed it. It's gone away. I thought, oh, that's done till sort of October, November time. So I dug out a sort of what I call my spring and autumn coat, which is a fleece, but slightly less warm.
You'd also see Richie on page 19 of the next catalogue out in the summer.
So I basically dug out every layer I could last night, and I went out with 6 layers on, which I don't think I've ever done in my life. 6 as I count. I thought, God, and in fact, the last one was a sort of a waterproof that pulls over your head.
Yes.
But because the layer I had underneath was so thick, it was a real squeeze to get in. I was a bit like the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
And I went to my son's football match, and we had to put the nets up because it was a home game. So we did that. and then I was asked to run the line because
you have some experience in that.
I have, yes. Well, in Hatfield Sunday Football League Linesman of the Year 2000. Yes, trophy somewhere.
What an achievement!
So I was asked to run the line, and I take that job quite seriously. So
evidently,
they don't want you. Well, yeah, but they don't want you to flag for offside. So it's basically you're handed the flag, and you were told ins and outs. That's what they said to me. Right. So I thought, all right, fine. However,
what are you waiting for? VAR? Is that why you're not flagging for offside? You have to delay it, like in the Champions League.
Ref does it. Oh. Ref takes control of offside, presumably because you are biased as the linesman. You are biased because you are with one or other of the sides, aren't you? Because you're a spectator, really, who's just been roped into it. So
they don't know you. They don't know you. You would not be biased. You were offside,
correct.
son.
I wouldn't be at all.
No.
And you're always generally on the side that you are. Well, you're not. No, because you stay on that side for both halves. So you are one half.
Yeah, that's right. To work its way out.
So it would average out. You would expect if you were being fair. But I make a point. If you take a corner, you've got to be down on the goal line because you've got to see if the ball comes out from the corner.
Yes.
You see, whereas you watch most people just stand in the one position. They don't move, and they don't. I hardly ever flag. So I thought, well, there's nobody on my side of the pitch because all the spectators were on the other side, so it's quite easy. And I was actually grateful for the opportunity because I was keeping warm by moving along with the play. I was actually keeping myself warm, and I didn't notice how cold it was getting. And the match must have gone on till it was gone 7:30. And obviously the game finished and we had to take the nets down. So as soon as the ref blew the whistle, I sprinted onto the pitch and handed him his flag. Here you go. And I was straight off to one end to get the nets down. I had gloves on and I had my 6 layers on. Within 2 minutes, I couldn't feel my hands.
Oh, whoa. Freezing.
And it was that cold, but I just hadn't realised because I'd been keeping warm on the touchline through my linesman's duties. I hadn't realised, and I'm standing there, and then a few others came out and said, "My God, isn't it cold?" And I couldn't believe that 3 days prior I was walking around in shorts.
I know.
And now I've got 6 layers on, and I can't feel my hands.
I know.
And we're at the end of April, and I just can't get over what is happening with this weather. It's mad.
If you live near Iceland, or if your name is Greta, you probably always have thought the weather's mad. But we're just trying to catch up with those people. You're so right. It is really odd. And I know this sounds a bit serious, but if we don't do something now, I say this. It sounds a bit cliche, but I think it's true. We are renting this planet for the next tenants who are our children coming through. And if we do not try and leave it in better condition than what we found it, it's going to be hundreds of years before it starts to get back to normal. And unfortunately, the world will show us in the way that it does with the extreme weather. I just let everybody know we are a comedy podcast.
Politics, I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
That message, I really hope my neighbour is listening, because he yesterday took delivery of a great big gas guzzling ute thing, and he fired it up this morning, and the growl from that thing, it made my stomach churn. It was loud, and I actually shut my window. I was going to open my window and actually pulled it shut again because I thought I'll be able to smell that. It's one of those things, and you just think, right, you drive to work, do you really, really need that? Because if it's a status thing, well, you're the only one on the street who's got one, so well done, tick the box.
Did you say in a ute thing, is your neighbour an extra in Home and Away?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know what you call them. It's like it's one of those sort of, it's not a truck, is it? But it's got a cab for the driver, and then it's like at the back it's open.
Oh, no, I'll tell you what that is called. That's called tax avoidance, because
there you go.
You don't have to pay tax on that, because it's a pickup truck.
Right.
That's what it's known as.
Pickup truck. That's the one.
Yeah. So,
pickup. Yeah.
Otherwise known as I'm avoiding paying tax.
I see.
That's the point.
Well, there we go.
There we go. Tax or not. It's not the quiz this week, but let's do that. The or not quiz. And your host this week, Steve Reed. Welcome to the or not quiz, where each week we pick a subject we generally know nothing about to try and catch each other out. And the current scores are Richie 8, Reedy 7. The Oscars took place over the weekend in a very different kind of way, in a train station rather than the Dolby Theatre. And, no one really went, did they? Even Arnie.
Not really.
Arnie said he didn't enjoy it. He didn't watch it. I won't be back.
Yes. Were there any train announcements that
Well, I was very confused because I heard one radio station say it was a disused railway station, and I heard another one say it was a bit disconcerting because there were trains still coming in and out. And I was thinking, when are we going to hear Richie's announcements? From last week, I couldn't stop laughing.
That would be brilliant.
Last week, you turning Irish. Train yard platform 9. Anyway, so the Oscars also had a flat ending this year because they swapped the awards round. They put the best actor at the end for someone that couldn't be there or couldn't actually receive it on a video message. So it was kind of like, the best actor is Anthony Hopkins. And that was it.
And then
that was it.
Big pause.
End
Nothing.
Of the Oscars.
Dear.
So hopefully we'll be back to more familiar ways in the coming years. So this episode of the Or Not Quiz is obviously going to be famous actors that have won an Oscar or not.
Okay. Wow.
Jodie Foster, Oscar winner or not?
Jodie Foster. I'm thinking Silence of the Lambs. And that's the only one I can think of that she was in, which I think she was very well acclaimed for. And it was quite a stunning performance in that film. Did she win an Oscar for it? I'm going to say yes.
You are? You're off to a flyer. Yes. She's in fact won 2 Oscars. She won one for Best Actress in Silence of the Lambs and another one for Best Actress in the leading role for The Accused back in the late 80s.
Okay.
Great start.
Right.
1-0 to Richie. No pressure.
Okay. No pressure.
Tom Cruise, Oscar winner or not?
He's been up my neck of the woods, actually. I don't know how they've managed to do this in lockdown, but and this is how local news.
I thought you were joking.
Report things. No, he's been in North Yorkshire filming Mission Impossible 7. Is it? But the local news reported it. The newspaper said. Gave it from the perspective of a lady who was out walking her dog who just bumped into Tom Cruise.
What?
She's sort of one of those like down to earth. Says, "Oh, it's not the sort of person you meet every day." What?
Oh, that is a great local story. Brilliant.
Yeah, lovely. I just thought, it's so good, isn't it? Just bring it right back down to earth. There's no showbiz, there's no glitz about it,
No.
We're out on moors and I saw Tom Cruise. Rover, he didn't half bark. And he's so small close up, isn't he?
Yes, he is. And I'm led to believe he's got one tooth at the top jaw rather than 2 teeth. If you look very carefully.
What? So
it's
what's the other one then?
It's
a gap?
No, there's no gap. It's just one instead of where you get two in symmetry.
A double tooth?
No, not one massive tooth. He's not Bugs Bunny.
Oh.
The No, he's got like the way his teeth are formed is that where we've got two teeth at the front there, he's got just the one tooth right. You know where the gap is there? Imagine one tooth there and then your teeth carry on round. So if you look carefully, he's got that's I'm not some sort of mega fan. I just heard this from a lady that met him recently in Newcastle.
Walking a dog.
In Yorkshire, yeah. Yeah, one tooth. So yeah, there's a fact about Tom
Cruise.
But did his one tooth ever win him an Oscar or not?
Top Gun, I'm thinking. What was the one where he made the cocktails?
Cocktail.
The cocktail. That'll be the
In his audition for James Bond?
Yeah. I am going to say Tom Cruise.
All those Mission Impossible films.
But have they been Oscar winning?
He was Jerry Maguire as well, wasn't he?
Jerry Maguire. He was in Jerry Maguire, yeah. And what was that other one? You Can't Handle the Truth. I Can't Handle the Truth or something. Yeah. Was that Jerry Maguire? Fun, isn't it? You remember the quote, but you don't remember the film.
Evidently. Cocktail.
Evidently. Yes. Do you know, I'm going to say Tom Cruise. I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say not.
That is a limb, isn't it?
That is a limb. Yeah.
Well, you're playing this well because if you're not sure, you've still got another opportunity to win the week. And then if you get it right, you've already won the week. So, Tom Cruise, Oscar winner or not, it may surprise you that Tom has not won an Oscar. He has been nominated for 3, though. For
which ones?
Born on the 4th of July.
Yes.
Best actor for Jerry Maguire. And he was also nominated in 2000 for Best Supporting Actor in Magnolia.
Was that a film about paint?
I was going to go plants. So I'm not sure.
Show home. What colour?
Moonlight one. So okay, let's see if you can win the week with 3.
Wow!
Now it's going better than what you thought.
Yes, because I don't, as you can probably tell, perhaps watch that many films.
But the good thing is you've heard of them.
Yeah.
Okay. Sigourney Weaver, Oscar winner or not?
Sigourney Weaver, that was Alien, wasn't it? Which was at the time, I remember, big, and the reviews were big, and it was a big, bold film for what it was, and it catapulted her into, if she wasn't already, it made her a real household name. I couldn't name any other films she was in, but I'm going to say she was.
She's a tremendous actress. As they all are tremendous actors. Sigourney Weaver has never won an Oscar. No. She's been nominated 3 times. Best Actress in Alien, then Best Actress in Gorillas in the Mist, and she was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in Working Girl, 2 films back in the late 80s that she was nominated for there, for Gorillas in the Mist and Working Girl in 1989, but never a Oscar winner. But all that doesn't matter because she won the week. Congratulations!
Wow.
2-1.
Wow.
Well done. Well done. How are you feeling?
Well, completely, utterly astonished, because I would never expect to win any competition around films or the Oscars or anything, because my knowledge is so poor.
Clearly not.
So yes, well, guesswork, isn't it?
Oh yeah, a subject we generally know nothing about. That's
it.
Hints in the title.
It. So remember, send us your scores. How well did you do? hello@richieandreedy.com.
Join us next time for another Or Not quiz.
Richie and Reedy, a little bit of R&R.
Each week, we talk about things we've spotted in the news, media, or social media, and we share them with you as our pick of the week. This one from me, Steve. We've done odd Zoom calls already. This is another level. A Canadian MP has apologised to colleagues after appearing completely starkers during a virtual meeting of the House of Commons.
What?
Yes. I'll give you a bit more. William Amos is his name. He's represented the Quebec district of Pontiac since 2015 for the Liberal Party. He's seen behind a desk between the Quebec and Canadian flags with what appears to be a mobile phone, preserving his modesty. Okay. And I mean, there is a picture of it, which I've shared with you. And it does look like, but I mean, it's just between the two flags, which I think is brilliant, because he's obviously in his own home and he's got these flags, which is brilliant.
Very proud.
But if you look very closely at his face, he looks to be sporting a very healthy handlebar moustache, or he's smoking a big fat cigar like Hannibal off the 80.
I don't think most people are staring at that part of his body, if I'm honest with you.
No, but I was going to say it just adds to the sort of seediness of it, because it makes him look a bit like a 70s porn star.
He does.
Yeah,
yes, he really does. Yeah.
With that moustache.
He does. She's not. The lady on the Zoom call is not impressed, is she? She is.
She's not
suitably.
At all.
No.
And there's this mobile phone in his hand, which is obviously just positioned there by chance, and it's very likely that, you know, I'm sure his hand wasn't in that position the whole time, and he's genuinely not realized, because he described it as an unfortunate error. He said, my video was accidentally turned on as I was changing into my work clothes after going for a jog. Well, number one, accidentally. Number two, didn't you ever shower, you dirty beast? Yeah. And number three, what on earth? Yeah, you not only is your computer, but you've logged into the meeting. So how can you not know that your camera's on? How can you not be aware? And if you've got the Zoom up, then the screen will be on your screen with all the other people in the Zoom call. So how can you say you didn't know, or it was an accident? So yes, but the best bit here is that one of the opposition MPs, you know, quick to have a little pop, suggested that parliamentary decorum requires male parliament members, I like it, to wear a jacket and tie and a shirt, underwear and trousers. So how would they know if you went commando? Would you have to admit, sorry, I'm commando, I need to go put some pants on, because
prove it.
Yes,
that's a great find.
Yeah,
and you know, I'm sure he wasn't the only one accidentally turned on in the Zoom meeting. But not that lady that's clearly not impressed.
Who's not impressed at all. No,
she is not. She is not having any of that, is she? She is, no. So I found this, a turtle going through someone's window, a car window, through their windscreen. Now, at the end of this, the question I have is, how? So here's the story. A woman driving down the motorway in America suffered a cut above one of her eyes after a turtle smashed through her windscreen. The turtle survived despite colliding with the 71-year-old woman, who, I love it when they give the age, who was a passenger of the car. The turtle's victim suffered a small cut above one of her eyes but did not lose consciousness. Firefighters released it into the woods, the turtle, not the lady, near the scene of the incident. The driver said she didn't see the object until it was flying through the air and crashed through her windshield. So there's my question. How? How?
That is quite poor journalism, isn't it? Because that is the one question that I think everyone will want to know. What on earth is a turtle doing hurtling through the air on a motorway?
Yes.
And that question remains blatantly unanswered.
Completely
and you think,
unanswered.
Well, is it, how? How was a turtle, has it fallen out of a
I'd like to get Gavin from
Autoglass
Autoglass back on. Autoglass repair, Autoglass replace, really? You cover for turtle damage? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Chip in your windscreen.
Yeah. I like the use of the word colliding as well, because generally you use the word collide when it's objects hitting objects. So
yes.
a car crash, two cars collide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If a person is one of those things, you don't normally use the word collide. So I would never, for example, say, if I was a passenger in a car and a turtle flew the windscreen, I would not say, a turtle collided with me and I sustained injuries to my head. I think I would say I was hit in the head by a turtle that came through my windscreen. It's a really odd way of describing how the turtle hit the woman passenger, isn't it? It's a very strange use of the word.
I didn't.
But very
I
odd,
wasn't aware that turtles could fly.
No.
I may stand corrected on that, but it's a pretty large turtle, this, and I don't see where it would have come from or how.
And also, these firefighters are taking a leaf out of your book, aren't they? Because they're gone to the woods to release it. But correct me if I'm wrong here.
Oh, that's good.
Don't they live in water?
They do.
So just putting him in the woods is not really going to help him, is it?
Well, not really. But to be fair, field mice don't live in the woods either. So each to their own. It's the great deal. If you're going to collide with my car, you're going to get put where you're put. There we go. That was our pick of the week.
Richie and Reedy, a little bit of R&R.
Now it's time for your mentions and messages. Email hello@richieandreedy.com with anything you'd like to say. We love hearing from you.
Your podcast cracks me up. Sally in Weymouth says that. She loves them, Richie. That is a good,
brilliant,
to the point message. Loving you, Sally. Thanks for your message.
Thank you. Yes. John from Carlisle has emailed and he says, I've sold some of my homemade compost on Facebook Marketplace. Because, of course, we were talking about that last week, Steve. And, homemade compost. Brilliant.
People sell some dodgy plants on there as well. I don't quite understand. Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, okay.
They do. Hello, Richie and Reedy. I wanted to let you know that I did surprisingly well at the quiz last week. Very proud to get 3 out of 3. I must know my train lines, probably having to wait around for delayed trains. Staring at the map has helped me subconsciously. Benjamin, you are Richie's hero.
Wow, you are. Well done. Very well done indeed. Angela from Anglesey has been in touch, Steve. She says she found a mouse eating through her tea towels, so she set a trap with some pieces of tea towel and caught 4 more mice.
That's resourceful,
so,
that, actually.
That is, isn't it?
I wouldn't think of using the tea towel to put in the trap.
Well, if it's wrecked anyway, then what else are you going to do with it? Well, I suppose in your case, you could just use it to cover the shoebox. But for other people, I think I'd do that. If they've wrecked my tea towel, I'm thinking, well, I can't use that now to dry my dishes anymore, so I'm going to use it to catch you. And it's going to feature in your demise.
The venom in your voice, it's remarkable.
Yeah.
And as always,
really resourceful.
Oh, sorry, any more?
No.
Therapy's always here for us, and I feel like the whole podcast is that. Earlier I went into an environmental. Wow, there's a word of the year. I went into an environmental kind of moment, didn't I? So if you wanna let out the anger, you do that. It's okay. I could play you some of those sounds. Remember the podcast we did with the alternative sounds, ASR sounds, which you can listen to ice being eaten to relax you, and someone eating spaghetti. Do you know that episode had one of the most listens out of all of our episodes?
Really?
I fear it's just for the bit where it's the relaxing part, and then we lose people after that. I'll have to look at the stats. People generally switched off after 10 minutes into that episode. As this lady's chewing on some ice. And as always, hello to all of our brand new listeners. Get in touch. We'd love to know where you're listening, or make a comment under the podcast right now, and we will see it's there.
That's it. We've come to the end of episode 31. As always, if you'd like to send us a comment or a message, please do. Our email address is hello@richieandreedy.com, or follow @richieandreedy, and send us a message on our social media pages.
Don't forget, episodes are now once a month, but we still read all your messages as they come in. When you subscribe on your favourite podcast provider, by the way, you'll always get our latest episode first. And please do feel free to give us a rating. There are 5 stars available, or just tap the like or the heart on this episode to show us your love.
Thanks as always to Taryn at ctbcreative.com for our podcast artwork.
Lucy Brown, our voiceover artist.
And of course, thanks to you for listening to us.
Until next time, goodbye.
Richie and Reedy, a little bit of R&R.